Hello everyone! So as you can tell from the title of this video, today I want to talk about some of the best and worst purchases I've made in my early 20s. At this point, I'm almost a year into my late 20s, and I feel like it's a really good time to reflect on some of the really good and also really dumb purchases I've made in the past. Particularly because on this channel I tend to talk about the big financial goals rather than the little things that essentially got me to this point, and I just wanted to take the time to talk about those things for a change. Let's start with the best purchases that I've made in my early 20s / best ways that I've spent money. I ended up talking for way too long, so I'm actually going to split this video into two. This one will be about the best purchases that I made, and you can stay tuned for the worst purchases video. So number one on my list, and this is probably the only item that is definitely in a particular order, my dog is the best purchase I've made in my early 20s. But he was a very expensive purchase. Whether you buy a dog, rescue, or adopt a dog, there will be a lot of expenses associated with being a dog owner, a dog parent, if you will. As much as I prepared for this purchase, it was still a lot of money because you need to account for, first of all, like the cost of the dog, any vet fees, equipment that you want to get, like puppy playpens, dog toys, chew toys, food, so that you can provide for your dog child. He's a very expensive purchase, but I'm so happy I got him. He is my baby boy. I feel like just taking him out on a walk has been so beneficial to me and like my own health because it makes me like get out breathe some fresh air. And when I got him, I knew about the financial responsibility associated with him as well as the time responsibility. Even then, the time responsibility was kind of like the bigger deal. You know, when people ask me if they should get a dog, I usually say probably not. Like, to be honest, I usually don't recommend it, especially if you're young and you're kind of like, you have all this freedom because you don't realize how much less freedom you'll have if you have to take care of a living, breathing being at home. Other than that, I'm so happy I got my dog. He is my baby boy. I'm so happy with him. Next up is travel. I have not regretted a single trip that I've taken in the past, even though I've been a lot more restrictive on spending money the past few years, particularly to pay off my student loans, if you are not familiar with my student loan journey and debt-free journey. But that's definitely one of my favorite things to do. I love, you know, immersing myself in a different culture, practicing a new language. In my early 20s, I had so many amazing opportunities to travel, even through school. So although I wasn't quite 20 yet, I was about to turn 20, I actually spent, I think, almost 2 months in South Dakota, and it's like one of my favorite places. I met so many amazing people there. Fam, if any of you guys are watching, love you guys. And then the following year, I had another incredible opportunity that I at first like could not believe was real. I got to spend 2 months in Bordeaux, France. Like, that was a dream. That was a dream come true, to be honest. Because if you guys don't know, I'm a huge Francophile. Like, I really am, and it's embarrassing how many Eiffel Towers are in my room that you guys can't even see right now. During that whole experience, we also got to go to Spain for a conference, so I got to visit Basque Country, which is beautiful. I also did like a weekend solo trip from Bordeaux to Barcelona. That was amazing. You know, we went to Toulouse one weekend, we went to the beach in France, and went to like the Dune du Pilat. Senior year, I decided to go on spring break to Eastern Europe. So I went to Budapest, Hungary first, then I went to Vienna, Austria. Afterwards, I went to Prague in the Czech Republic, which was, you know, another beautiful city with other surrounding beautiful cities and towns. Right before the panini started, I went on my last trip. We went to France, Germany, day trips to Switzerland, and it was just amazing. Like, I just love walking around a European city. It just makes me so happy. Obviously, I wasn't really in my debt-free journey during most of those trips except for my last one, which I had really budgeted for. I was so meticulous even on that trip about spending. Like, my friend Amy and I, we were using like every dollar at the time, so we would literally compare our budgets, be like, okay, so like you paid for this, and like you had cash for this, but you paid for all of us. Like, we tracked every single expense, and it was like kind of fun, but it made me really happy because I had budgeted a certain amount for a trip that brought me joy, even though I was still focusing on paying off debt. So I probably spent $1,000 or so on that trip, and it set me back maybe like a month or two. From now on, I definitely want to make that a priority in my life, to spend money on travel and other things that I love. Speaking about things that I love, the next best expense is anything Taylor Swift related. I had the privilege of going to 2 tour dates on the Reputation Stadium tour. I don't know why. My friend and I were like, yeah, let's just get another ticket to this other city, and we ended up going to 2 shows together, like, you know, one weekend to the next, and it was so much fun. The next best thing I've spent on is business equipment. You know, anything that helps enhance the quality of my videos. But again, I've been learning a lot, you know, through YouTube about making videos and editing them, so that's all kind of free information. But if I do feel like there's some sort of equipment that I can get to, like, you know, enhance the experience, I'm okay with spending money on that. So I'm happy that I'm not being like too stingy about spending money on my business. You know, this is something that I hope will be successful, but in the meantime, I'm happy just sharing my journey with all of you. Next up is my master's program. So you guys know I complain a little bit or a lot about homework, but that's just what school is. Like, you just do homework, you take your tests, but you learn something, which is what's important. So I may complain, but I am learning a lot, and I'm really happy that I have the opportunity to spend money on this. Although, technically I'm not spending any money on it. Technically, okay, I pay out of pocket first. If I get good grades, then I get reimbursed by my company. So that's how it works. So technically I've spent money on it, but not yet. I've gotten good grades so far that I haven't had to. So even if my company didn't pay for it, I think I would probably still be pursuing a master's degree. And I made sure that I chose an affordable one that I could pay on my own if anything happened to my job or situation, because that's really important to me to be able to finish my degree. So yeah, I'm happy it's all going well, and I'm glad that I'm spending money on that. The next thing is having home workout equipment. Of course, this is facilitated by my parents and them having a space where I could put it, but it's so nice to be able to get a good workout at home with like weights and stuff rather than having to drive to the gym and wait for your turn on the machines. I'm really happy that I'm able to just work out at home whenever I want to, and I feel like it definitely helps me want to be more active, especially just seeing the machines there. It makes me want to work out, so it's really good motivation too. The next thing that I'm really happy I spent on are movers. So when I did move from my apartment to my parents' house, I hired movers for the first time, and let me tell you, it changed my life. I'm never moving without movers again. It's just a no-brainer. I'm absolutely going to be hiring movers for whatever move I have to make in the future. And last but not least, tolls. I have found a lot of value in paying for the New Jersey Turnpike. It saves me time, it saves me frustration, and for now it has kept me safe. Not as much can be said when you get off the turnpike, when someone could potentially rear-end you. I don't know. But I am definitely starting to value my time a lot more than I once did, and so I'm kind of okay with spending almost $300 a month in tolls, which just gives me another hour of my day back on the days when I do commute, so I'm happy with that.